Emirates is continuing to focus on its A380 fleet as retirement plans for the aircraft are now being discussed. Despite being the largest customer of the plane and one of the primary reasons the program enjoyed really any form of commercial success, Emirates is aware that one day it will be forced to move past this program. The efforts to move past the program will prove challenging, especially given the lack of a direct replacement, making the retirement process difficult. However, Sir Tim Clark, the president of Emirates, reaffirmed that the aircraft will remain in service into the 2040s rather than being retired around, say, the mid-2030 mark. For Emirates, its long-established business model has focused on maintaining a youthful fleet and a continued reliance on innovation, finding ways to reduce the average age of its fleet wherever possible too. However, this long-established model has been tested over the last half-decade, with renewal and retirement plans being put on hold due to considerable challenges in the acquisition of next-gen planes. The carrier has retained Boeing 777s longer, for example, than it may have ideally wanted, but this was certainly necessary as it faced delays in taking on planes such as the 350 and the 777X. As for the A380, while Emirates finds itself in a bit of a peculiar position, given that this is its flagship and, well, no formal replacement for the type has been offered. And what I mean by that is a dedicated replacement, not something coming in to try and fill the shoes, keyword try. While other high-capacity planes exist, they are nowhere near the same standard or have the same capabilities as the 380. And now, Emirates must ensure that its fleet is maintained and kept to the highest standard for as long as possible to make sure that it can maximize the time it has the A380 at its disposal, this being so key to its day-to-day flying. What makes the retention of the A380 at the very least a little bit easier is the ability from now into the future to acquire spare parts, which will be driven by other airlines retiring this fleet type and valuable, very valuable teardowns occurring, helping to maintain the fleet at Emirates as they leech off some of these other planes that are heading to the scrapyard. Ultimately, Emirates will be primarily positioned to be the last operator of the world's largest passenger plane. This, though, hardly a shock given its reliance on the series, its love for it, and the lack of a successor that is visible. Much of Emirates' desire to retain the A380 is driven not just by its love for the aircraft, but also the lack of a dedicated replacement. The Dubai-based carrier has called for the release of a new A380 model, known as the A380neo, with the new engine option intended to bring significant efficiency improvements to the operator and program. However, despite these very public calls, and Tim Clark's suggestion that it would put forward tens of billions and designs to the manufacturer, no progress has been made on that front. Emirates now faces instead the harsh reality that progress on a successor to the A380-800 is very unlikely. The manufacturer has already shut down production of the jet and moved on to more important models. It would consider planes such as the A321neo as crucial to its future. And in terms of your wide bodies, well, while the A350 is emphasized as now the flagship, it can't adequately cover the 380. But there is maybe some now fresh optimism that a new 350 model could be an option for the future. Airbus hinting at the possibility of further evolving the 350 program with a new model that would look to increase not just range but also capacity on the current largest one in the A350-1000. Whether that is the option that Emirates requires in the future remains to be seen. But certainly we can expect their A380s to be flying into the 2040s, so at least we'll have the chance to enjoy them for quite a while longer. Thanks for watching, take care, leave your thoughts down below on the whole kerfuffle that involves Emirates needing to move past the 380 down below in the comments.
And we'll fly.